I can think of something for a cold opening.
Yeah.
It's something I was thinking about on the way over here, and all I kept thinking was, okay, right, doing the podcast, so I've got to bring something really, really funny, like at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
And do you know how I like to think of like these little skits and stuff, like little sketches?
I do know that.
You know me.
Yeah.
And I suddenly did this weird thing where I was like, you know, the A-Team. You know, it's like 4 exemplary mercenaries, right?
Yeah.
So what if you just had a team, which was just the most, which was 4 of the most boring, average mercenaries.
John from The Office.
Yeah, and he's just a mercenary for hire, and it's just a team, you know. And they're just like, no, they're nothing spectacular at all. They're just like.
Should we do something about it?
No, just drive on.
Yeah, it's just don't get out of the car.
No. The car's running and petrol prices are astronomical right now. Anyway, welcome everybody. This is the first, well I say the first, it'll probably end up being episode 0 of the Retronomicast. My name's Matt and I am joined with, as always, with the Retronomicon.
Douche. Fuck you all.
Whoa. What? Jesus Christ. He might make more of a presence on this podcast, but for the time being, it really is just about me, Matt, and my lovely companion here, Samuel.
Hello.
Who's an avid watcher of the show, as well as helping us film them. So you may know him as the bald-headed bloke that keeps bobbing into frame.
Holding weapons.
Yeah, and holding weapons for us. Which was, that was...
Painful is what it was.
It was painful.
It hurt. It really hurt.
You had your elbow buried into a table.
I was contorted, holding that gun up, looking you in the eye, which I couldn't see down the barrel.
Yeah.
That was purely from another person's point of view.
Yeah. God, that was a weird day. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in if you have. This has been the, like I say, episode 0. We're just figuring out where things are going to go and what we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. We've got ideas, we've got segments. So I thought, why don't we start with... well, actually, I remember what the second thing I was going to say on the show on the way over. I was thinking, I must warn Sam about my farts, because it's awful. I've had like 5 shits today, so... Yeah, just keep that in mind. I thought we got to start classy, so we'd talk about fart references at the very start of the show.
Well, if you want to stay classy, I'll tell you something that happened to me this week.
Oh, go on. This will be a good icebreaker then for the episode.
So I work at a school. I'm a teacher. Hi, kids.
Yeah.
A man walked through the school gates. Obviously, to be politically correct, a crackhead.
Right.
Was looking at the bikes, but nonchalantly, as if to be like, "Oh, I'm just here looking at stuff." Mm. He ended up I watched him on CCTV. The site team was so like, "Sam, you've got to see this."
Yeah.
He took a shit under a bin.
He just took a shit under.
He took a shit under a bin, and then he got chased out by the exams officer with an umbrella.
What? I mean, I suppose public toilets are less of a thing at the moment, especially where we're from.
Especially at schools, for sure. I wouldn't advise going into a school to use their toilet. No. It was one of the most yellow poos I've ever seen.
Oh, yellow?
Yeah, it was gross.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so now you know the kind of calibre of show this is going to be. So yeah, this is by no means a supplementary to the Retronomicon. That's still going to happen. This is just 2 guys chatting. We've got some things to talk about. One of the segment ideas we had was to talk about what we've been playing recently, and specifically retro games. I mean, it's a gaming-related podcast. It's Retronomicast, so we're on form. We're talking about retro games predominantly, but of course, we're going to be freeform with it, and we can just talk about whatever we want.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, because who has time for that shit? Podcasts are what they are, and like there's so many of them that...
Preach, brother. Yeah. Once our mums have listened to it, anyone's a bonus.
Yeah, that's right. 2 views on this is... Mwah! Right, okay. So, the segments we have are, like we said, what we're talking about recently. So, what we've been playing recently.
What we've been playing.
All I really had to bring was the Earthbound story, which I was briefly discussing with you before. And that I got my fiancée to play Earthbound for the first time yesterday. and she's seen me play it before, and she's gone, "What's this shit?" You know. And she's even tried playing. What was the game that was like? It was sort of like it, wasn't it? What was the? God, everyone's going to kill me for not knowing this because it was a hugely popular game. Undertale.
Of course, right.
So she saw me play that, and she was like, "I just don't get it." And I said, "It's if you've got to play Earthbound." So I finally convinced her to do it yesterday. We were just having a chill day. I was on like my second glass of wine. I was like, fucking Earthbound.
NES.
It's on the Nintendo Online. Let's fucking play it. So so we started playing it. And she named like all of her characters like variations of Monty. Like it was Monty and Minty and Mampy, and it was hilarious. And we were playing the game, and I found it so great to see someone experience it for the first time again, especially after we spoke with our other friend, Dwayne, who's recently started playing it as well, thanks to the Nintendo Online.
Yeah.
And how much fun he was having, and I just think it's great because I fucking love Earthbound.
You have a real soft spot for Earthbound, don't you? Genuinely.
I would say it's my favourite RPG.
Big claim.
Yeah.
Big claim.
And it's weird because there's so much wrong with it. Like, it's not a perfect game, but that's kind of the point, which is why I like it so much, because it's trolling you a little bit.
For sure. I am familiar with Earthbound. I bought it on my 3DS. I played it a lot around Italy, actually.
Italy?
Yes, I did.
When you were around Italy?
Yes, I went on a holiday in Italy and thought, what a better time to play
Earthbound.
I was going through lovely mountainous regions of Italy on the train.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Now let's go to On It.
Yeah.
So I am familiar with it, and actually, RPGs are not my bag. That's not true. I'm a simple man, and RPGs are complex, and they don't marry for me. But I think I got fairly far. I mean, you know that the spike in difficulty is so difficult. It is difficult at the beginning.
It really is,
and gets easier. I think I got like a not unsubstantial way through. On my memory, I remember having to go through a crowd of people. Were they blue people?
The blue cultists.
Definitely... Go on, give me a bit more. Can you break it down? What happens after the blue cultists?
I really can't... I mean, the plot is so sort of freeform. I can tell you where the story goes and where it ends, but ultimately, you know, you're Ness and you have your three other friends, and your four of you are like the chosen ones, and you're going to save the world from some evil alien deity. But then for some reason you end up in, I think it's called Happy Go Farm or something. Is that what?
Yeah.
And there's like, is the Happy Cult?
It's the cult, yeah.
I can't remember what they're called. They're the Happy. I think they're just called the Happy Cult.
I'll Google this. Google that, while we talk.
Because I mean, I've played this game so many times I should know. But yeah, the happyists.
It's something like that,
yeah.
and because you're blocked, they block your path until you do something, and then you have to fight the cult leader.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah. Is this before or after you have to fight the police, and there's like that whole police brutality commentary, which is
of course
actually insane.
I'm just going to connect to the Wi-Fi. Carry on talking.
Connecting to the Wi-Fi is a thing that needs to happen these times.
There wasn't Wi-Fi in the era of Earthbound.
That's true.
What did they do?
I mean, yeah, you had to sit there and figure that shit out, right? Because it was something that's really obscure. You remember the pencil you had to erase? You had to go through this whole rigmarole. There's these two inventor genius people, and like you had to talk to the right one and do like this sub quest. You had to do something for him, and then he gave you a pencil eraser.
That's familiar-ish to me, but yeah, I know some of it. I mean, to be honest, so much of it I found so difficult. So, for example, the idea of how you heal and things. For example, it's all fast food, isn't it? And the items and the fans. Let's be real. RPGs now, we're all used to having essentially unlimited items, if not big item stashes. Yeah, I mean, how many items can you have in that? Maybe 50. It's about. Is it 20 at most? It's not a lot, is it, for what you want? And each individual item, it's not like you have one health, say burgers, but if you buy more than one, it takes up the same item slot. Each burger takes up its own slot.
Yeah, you can't stack them.
Actually, it's hard, man.
Yeah, but when you revisit it now, it seems like a difficulty thing.
Yeah.
Like it's another way which the game is testing you. It's saying, how can you manage your inventory effectively?
How philosophical have we gotten already? Talking about peaks of difficulty in games due to the advancement of technology.
Yeah.
And it's true. It is a quirky and ultimately quite...
Well, that's not true though, because you already had Final Fantasy VI or whatever, and you just stacked everything of those that you needed, didn't you? And
True. Yeah, you did.
so
I guess
it really wasn't the limitations of the hardware, was it? It was literally just they were trolling you, and that's what it comes back to every time: is that there are these decisions being made, and it's really just to sort of make you second guess yourself at every given turn.
It's a mindfuck of a game, isn't
Yeah.
it? Let's be real.
It's really supposed to mindfuck you. So, because once you've used the pencil eraser, like going back to that again, once you've used it, the object, you never use it again. You never ever use it again. I think it's just like raining. So if that's what you can hear, everybody, that's what that is. But and then you don't know that. It could sit there in your inventory for God knows how long. You think, oh, I might have to hold on to this because there might be another pencil along the way. But it never happens. So it's just an item that it becomes useless.
Do you know what? And this is why I'm so... I mean, I think it's a problem of all games, but I'm one of those people who likes to find everything. And when you know you've got something you think you need to find, but you're not quite sure, fuck me. I could spend days. Excuse you.
Yeah.
That's the dog.
That's the Retronomicon.
Douche.
No, shut up, dude. Shut up. Dude, just...
I've heard him get awful racist, that book.
Yeah, he's terrible for it.
He fucking hates them. I just want to say happyism.
Happyism.
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
The blue people, the blue man group.
Yeah. And they paint their cows blue.
They do.
And yeah, it's
you find a character there, don't you?
yeah, and then you find out that they're worshipping a golden idol thing. There's a golden statue thing, which is like a what's the word? It's like a vessel for Gygas's power, which is this.
And the game
ancient
ultimately ends in an abortion, doesn't it? Or is that a different? Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert to anybody listening.
I mean, it's been out long enough.
It has.
Come on.
Yeah, it has. And the fact that, of course, you've seen that the trippy visuals that happen in the fights.
Yeah.
The final boss one, it's a fetus, and you can actually see it.
I'm surprised that never set off your motion sickness having to deal with those.
No, actually, it's fine. Well, because there's nothing moving in front of it.
I guess.
Which is again, it's just like you're looking at an image of a thing you're fighting on a trippy background.
I suppose the enemy that caused me essentially to rage quit that game, and because I think I put some hours into that game, the trees.
Yes, they're an absolute pain.
And they fucking chase you down,
they do,
don't they?
Yeah.
Like I will happily avoid any conflicts to get through, but my God.
Well, that's how they speedrun it, isn't it? Because if you take the enemy off the screen, it will despawn, and then you don't have to go far. You just have to like get them off of your screen and run back, and that thing will despawn, and then like there could be 5 enemies spawn in its place or something.
True.
And in the speedrunners, what they do is they keep running backwards and forwards between 2 screens, trying to waiting for the RNG to say, "Oh, no spawns," and there's just no enemies there.
I guess I was probably a little distracted on the train to Florence.
But it's that doesn't take away from the fact that it's still difficult as fuck. If you ignored that and you just kept running forwards, you just run into enemy after enemy and things like the trees explode, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes them such a pain in the fucking ass.
Exactly.
But I suppose it's their way of bringing in the rolling counter.
Okay.
Your life counter just rolls, right?
Yeah.
So it's their way of saying even when you've taken a mortal damage, you can heal yourself as you're dying, basically. Which is like a huge mechanic of the game as opposed to other RPGs. So I think that was their way of doing that. Nonetheless, fucking annoying, and I'll give you that.
At what point would you say the difficulty peaks in that game? There must be a point when you go, I feel easier.
Oh, where it gets past the peak and it starts to sort of dip, and then it plateaus. Yeah, I would say it's after you've got Paula, I guess, who's in the next town over. I think it's a Tucson. You get to Tucson and...
Let's. All right, here's a little test for you then. Can you name the towns?
Yes, it's Onnet, Tucson, Threed. It's what's the?
That's me googling the answer.
Yeah, and Foreside.
Mm-hmm.
And damn, I'm actually out now. It's funny that
I have a feeling. In terms of the numbers, I assume that was all it is. It's just above the numbers. Foggy Land?
Yeah.
Eagle Land,
Oh, Eagle. Well, I mean, Eagle Land's like the
Winters,
whole thing.
Summers,
Winters and Summers. Yeah.
Galam, Lost Underworld, Magicant. I've heard of Magicant.
Magicant, yeah, which is like Dess's Dreamscape or whatever. Yeah, it's a trippy game, and it's one of those games that, Dan, if you're listening to this, there's a retro gaming podcast and you've never played this game, recommend it.
Absolutely.
And it's on Nintendo Online, so I'm sure you're all Nintendo fans out there.
Do you want to give it a retro?
A retro
rating, yeah.
a retro. It's probably going to get it's going to get an A, isn't it? For awfully good. There we go.
Good work.
Yeah, that'll do. Shit. Right. So, moving on.
You gonna ask me what games I've played?
Yes. Tell me.
Thank you.
What game have you been playing? So.
Well, it's been a while since I've played a video game, and I will just name some of the more recent ones I've played in terms of more modern games, which I won't go about. Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Very good game. I've gotten back. I've still not completed Breath of the Wild. I've been playing a lot of that recently. But if we're going retro, I've recently purchased the N64 Switch controller, and I thought I'm gonna sit down, sink my teeth into a game. OG Paper Mario.
Oh, nice.
And it's,
I've never played that.
It's really good. It's so different from the others. I think, or at least it's not different from the others, but it is in the sense that I guess it's the first one. Like, it's odd to think of it as different.
You hear people say it's the best one, right? Then you wonder, is that because it's the first one?
I don't think it's the best one.
No.
I've played Thousand Year Door. Thousand Year Door is wicked.
Yeah, Thousand Year Door is good.
But I'm enjoying it. It's actually remarkably deep. For a first game in the series, I thought it'd be quite simple, and it actually has a lot more directions you can go. More people and more side missions than I expected. I thought it'd be quite a simple game.
Yeah,
it's good. It's got the same mechanics. You've got the jump, you've got the hammer, and you collect allies as you go along. Quirky allies, as is the game.
As is what it's famous for.
And it is. And actually, I say it's different. It's different in feel. The controls are the same. They're really not very different. Works well with the N64 controller.
It's still an RPG, isn't it? Like
it is.
Yeah.
And it works really well. And in that sense, like this is a really shit way of explaining it, but they've got a system that's worked from day dot, and they've essentially kept it the same. It's not broke. Didn't have to fix it.
That's right. Except when you get to Super Paper Mario.
True.
Where they completely changed the format.
They did.
It just became like a 2 to 3D platformer, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, I got stuck in Super Paper Mario.
Yeah.
On the first, I think it was. Do you know what? I defeated the first boss, I think, and I can't find my way into the next room. It's not a puzzle. I'm just a fucking moron.
Well, I mean, that's like I was thinking. Funny that you say that, because that's like a whole thing that I was thinking about after watching another gaming podcast. Was games where you get stuck on them. I'd imagine myself getting stuck on Paper Mario as a kid, like playing it. I mean, RPGs were not my thing as a kid. They're the sort of things that just infuriate the fuck out of you, because you get so far and then you'd save, and then, I don't know, you do something else for a bit. And it could literally be a day or two, and I'm already forgotten what the fuck I was doing.
You can't put RPGs down, and I'm already afraid, having not played Paper Mario in, I don't know, a month, that I'll come back to it and be like,
what was I doing?
Where the fuck am I? Though I do remember bits. It's quite dark, this Paper Mario game as well. They're all obviously got a childish front. It's in like an animated version of Mario, so like extra childish.
Yeah.
But it's quite dark what happens in that game. Like Bowser kidnaps the princess. But my God, he's going in for the Stockholm effect in that game hard. Like he wants her, and he wants her to want him.
That's in 64, is it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because he did this. Because Thousand Year Door's kind of got that, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, most of the games do. Thousand Year Door.
You've got that robot that kind of spies on her in the shower.
That's true. Yeah, because Thousand Year Door isn't Bowser as the main, it's the big bad. It's
what it is.
Thingy.
The antagonist.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, if I go more into my memory banks, I will get it confused with Mario and Luigi, which I did play a lot more of.
Yeah, which is why when they combined the two, I was like, oh no shit. Like,
cannot wait. Have you played it?
No.
It's awful.
Is it?
It is the
Was
most.
it on Wii U?
No, it's
On
3DS.
Switch? 3DS was it?
It's Paper Jam. Mario and Luigi with Paper Mario Paper Jam. That's not the game. That's just that's who's in it.
Right.
It is the most. I told you that it's got quite dark undercurrents
that game
to
as well?
Paper. No, that is the most basic, boring. The toads have been turned into. The toads are captured. Save the toads. There is nothing to that game. The gameplay is fantastic.
Yeah.
As you'd expect. But in terms of a story, and admittedly, I mean, you're 31. Mm-hmm. I'm 30 years old. Mm-hmm. Maybe we don't necessarily play these games purely for the story of Nintendo games, especially Paper Mario. But that game is it's the basic bitch of its sisters.
Oh. Well, that's a real shame because, like we were saying, they're so similar. Mario and Luigi, like you were talking about the dark undertones to Paper Mario. You do get less of that in Mario and Luigi, right?
You do.
You get little moments though.
The soups, it's probably similar-ish, I guess. I mean, Superstar Saga, the first one, it didn't really have it. No, it didn't. I mean, they in that one. I mean, spoiler alert. I remember that game a lot better. The boss is Cackletta. She steals Peach's voice because it unlocks a great power in a star. But then they do there's a fucking big old twist halfway through that game, which makes you go, "Oh damn, they thought about this." And has some dark moments like people's power getting taken and you having to go against stuff. And there's a really hard bit in that game. The last boss is notoriously got the biggest difficulty spike because it's got 2 forms, and the second form you have 1 HP, and it attacks first. Oh, so if you die, you die. Yeah, that's with Bowletter.
I see.
Yeah, and then the second one was Partners in Time. That's really That's a pretty basic game in terms of story. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's conflict. Aliens normally in Aliens in that one, but it's nothing near as dark. And then the third one improves a little bit, and then it sort of, as I said, Paper Jam.
Just kind of makes it the kiddie game that everybody sort of thought they were anyway. I can sort of see that happening. Nintendo overcompensating, trying to give it too broad an appeal, right? Make it a bit basic.
If you were about to have an emergency ejaculate, would you? And the only thing nearby was a pristine Princess Peach tissue paper in the shape, of Paper Mario style. Would you use it? It's coming. You got to make a decision. Yeah. It's on the floor. It's in Peach's face.
Oh God. I mean, it's paper though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's fair game.
Yeah.
I mean, we're simple men. Tissue primarily is tissue for.
So it's tissue. It's tissue form takes precedence over the sensitive nature.
Oh, of course, yeah. And I would say that to any Paper Mario character.
Even Toad.
His cute little face, man. It's kind of fucked up, isn't it? But okay. Right. I mean, we're about a third through the episode, so let's move on to another segment idea. Sam is ready at the keyboard, poised to look up some gaming news. But I have one story while you can look for something in the meantime.
Oh, okay.
While I'm sort of getting into this.
Yeah, carry
Just
on.
type in like gaming news.
I know how to Google.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I can count on you to Google for me.
Thank you.
So it was really just something that I think it's because I'm subscribed to Hungry Box. So he always brings out sort of these controversies, things that happen. And one thing that I don't know, it's a shocking thing because we bang on about bullying Nintendo. Like we bang on about how much we fucking love Nintendo. But they do seem to do some questionable things, and this one was just like, why? There's no need. So basically, they removed. They didn't remove it. They kind of copyrighted it. They deleted it. They deleted. It was basically like a load of stuff that was backed up, and it's from a Japanese magazine. It was only released in Japan. In fact, I think it was a guide to Super Mario 64.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Have you seen this?
I've seen this in the news. Yeah,
and there's like all of the levels. There's beautiful, beautiful art of like dioramas of like each level.
Yeah.
Like as they were designed, and it just looks great. Like I saw the hard copies, and I was copies of it on the video, and I was like, that looks great. And yet they're deleting it from their archive or whatever. So, but why? Why would you delete a part of your history?
Are they deleting it from the archive, or are they deleting it from public access?
I mean, I guess so. You could argue that, couldn't you? Maybe it's... But it makes you think, but why?
Maybe, well, let's be real, if it's Nintendo...
Super Mario 64 too.
Maybe, if it's because it's Nintendo, they can monetize it.
Yeah, but I don't understand how. How would they monetize it?
It's not been that... I mean, they've re-released 64 fairly recently, in the grand scheme of things, with All Stars.
Yeah. So they're kind of just saying, no, don't dwell on the past, because we've got it for you right now on a fucking online subscription. Pay.
It makes... But you're right, and I don't think they will. I think they're very protective of their properties, aren't they? To a fault.
And I think it's like you said, if it's not so much that they want to monetize it, it's we can't monetize this, or other people can view this for free and we get nothing. So we're going to take it down. Especially because it's ours, and only people in Japan are going to care, or whatever. So they just, no big deal, take it down. And like I said, I think it's just because they're not making any money from it. So it's like, oh, well, get rid of it then. Someone could use this to make money, right?
Exactly. I mean, we're basically scared to say Nintendo's name at this point, aren't we?
Yeah.
In case they shut us down.
The N word.
Don't say it, kids!
No, don't say it. No, it's a bad idea. Do you have any gaming stories for me, Sam?
Any gaming stories?
Any like big gaming stories?
Well,
that's gonna be a
I'll tell you what's top of the feed at the moment, Matthew. We have a lot of Unreal 5 showcases saying how good graphics will be. Talking about Keanu Reeves in that game.
Right. Oh, that game. What game?
Cyberpunk, I believe.
Oh, Cyberpunk, yeah, of course. I forgot he was in that.
Just basically, I mean, there's a lot of stuff just saying, we're going to make all these games and it looks pretty. That is what this news article is in a nutshell. A new Tomb Raider in the works.
Ah.
Witcher 4.
Right.
Crystal Dynamics, the studio behind Marvel's Avengers. Boo! And the recent Tomb Raider reboots is making another one.
Wasn't Crystal Dynamics They did a lot of Tomb Raiders, right?
Yeah, the recent reboots.
They've been in my videos somewhat substantially, weren't they? Because Crystal Dynamics was known as something else before.
I will find out for you.
Yeah, because I covered it in a video. So you can, if you're listening and you're wondering, go and find it. I don't know, whatever. But it's like, I think it's, I don't know, I can't remember if it's me talking about Tomb Raider. Because I did the whole two-part Tomb Raider. Hello, there's a cat on the table.
So, Oaks, what do you think of Crystal Dynamics?
Yeah. Jingle, jingle. Nice.
Oh, watch out for the book. Does he eat cats?
What? Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, he does.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Should I keep him away?
I think you're fine for now.
Okay.
But, yeah, he's asleep. We're fine. Okay, so he's asleep. So yeah. What? Okay, that's fine. He's just like, fucking. It's fun to take the piss out of him when he can't hear us. Okay. So Crystal Dynamics.
Crystal Dynamics.
They were known as something else, I believe.
I can't see their parent company is Square Enix in Europe.
Ah.
Cat, if you go on my laptop, I love you, but you will not live. I can't see anything. I think
I can hear myself talking about it. I literally
Core Design.
Core Design, yeah.
Is it?
Crystal Dynamics, the same company.
Are you yes manning me?
That did some thing in the Tomb Raider series, and I can't. Oh, hello. I'm literally fucking. I can hear it in my head, and I can't remember what I was talking about. Is it? I think it might be the Grinch.
Yeah, maybe. Do you want me to look? I'll have a look.
No, he's rubbing the mic.
Oh, Oakley.
You're going to ruin the podcast. Hello. Hello.
So that's where we're at. We're looking at a new era of video game technology.
Right. I mean, that is what it all is now, isn't it? When you look at the the modern news, the modern gaming news.
It's all bloody graphics, isn't
all
it?
just,
These
how are the
flipping
graphics?
kids these days.
That's always like, oh, graphics are what matter.
I just want to. Oh, I don't like fractals.
Oh, I want,
I
Black Ops 17, please.
I want smooth textures.
Yeah, sorry if you're a modern gamer. I mean, I am too. But the point is,
We hate you.
this is a retro gaming podcast, so please.
If you play modern games, leave.
Yeah. You a Modern Warfare fan? Fuck off. Okay, right. No, please don't. Please listen. Okay. So yeah, I mean, the new segment needs work. I'm sure there was something else I was going to bring up. Because
maybe you should start writing things down.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Yeah, I mean, we could do like some speed running updates as well in the future.
Okay.
That could be quite cool.
I'll let you do the speedrunning updates.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like some sort of retro game news, right? So I thought of the Super Mario thing because it was just like.
I mean, there's got to be a retro. I mean, we could always just rip off a retro gaming website.
It's not really news, but of course F-Zero X now on Switch Online.
Oh, of course.
Which is pretty fucking awesome.
A big deal.
I fucking love that game. Must be said.
I've never played it. I have played CX on the GameCube.
Did I change this to... Okay, I did. You played the one on GameCube, yeah, GX or whatever.
Which was a good game. And hopefully... I mean, I played it when it was old, when I was at university. As in, it was well past it.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful game, even playing it then.
Yeah. But I love about...
I think it holds up.
Excuse you.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Suppose I haven't quite any of my farts yet. I'm not firing, it's fine. I think I managed to get them all out before I came.
Thank you. I really honestly appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, before we go on to another segment, how about let's put your credentials on the table. What consoles do you own?
It's funny because you start a retro gaming thing and everyone's always saying to you like, oh, you know, the games you're playing are retro. You should be playing NES games, SNES games, Atari, and a lot of people think when they think retro games, they think Atari. I never owned an Atari. I never owned a SNES.
No.
But I have the SNES Mini, right? I have the Atari Mini. I have the NES, PlayStation Mini.
NES Mini?
I don't actually have the NES Mini. And what's that other one? The Sega Mega Drive Mini.
Yeah.
And there's another one as well. There's the Atari and the one I got recently, the Commodore 64 Mini.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
How does that look?
Like arse. It looks terrible. And that's the thing. It's one of those things where I could review that shit, right? But that's not my era of video games.
But maybe that's the fresh face it needs.
But does it though? Because it's hard for me to give that's the thing. You talk about impartial opinions, which I could easily give, but it's a product of its fucking time.
Yeah.
So a lot of these games that I have on the show, I'm always like, well, I can sort of look at this as a product of my era. Therefore, I can sort of go, oh, how does this compare to other games I played?
I feel like you should have probably had this conversation before you started a retro gaming YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it really just wanted to be games that I find interesting, right? That are from my era. Go back to consoles I own. So I do own a PS3. I do own a PS4. I don't have a PS5. I'm not on the modern gen. There is an Xbox 360 kicking around somewhere. There is a GameCube. There is a Wii. There is an N64. There is a Dreamcast. Again, all the consoles that have been on the show, the PS2 as well, of course. That's why I'm always covering those sorts of games, because they're the ones I have. They're the easiest to capture somewhat from the setup I have. So, basically games from that era. If anyone is wondering why I'm not doing sort of older games, that's sort of the main reason, because I never owned any of them and they don't mean a huge amount to me. I mean, neither did the Barbie game, right? So I did the Barbie episode. I never played this fucking game before. But as a PS2 game, I could sort of look at it and go, okay, this game sucks compared to all these other PS2 games that I have played. It's just all about context. I'm always aiming for that sort of era. One day I could go, earlier. You
Nah,
could get,
fuck
like,
'em.
super retro.
Nah, fuck them.
Um,
You do you, man.
I think well, 'cause there's obviously a certain amount of NES games I've played. Naturally, SNES games even. Some SNES games are my favourite games. Earthbound, we talked about that.
Yeah,
earlier.
it was
So,
true. And actually, there are some. I mean, I'm very Nintendo centric, so that's where I come from. But there's some NES games, the ones that are based very sort of the Dungeons and Dragonsy ones, seem to have a lot of depth. There's one as well, which is maybe you know it. The one it's on the NES Online, and it's where I think you're a cop and you start in a sewer. Do you know which one I'm on about?
It's on NES Online, is it?
Yeah.
SNES.
NES.
Oh, okay. And you're in a sewer.
You start in a sewer, I
Right.
think.
I don't think I was.
And it's like a point and click adventure, but obviously
Oh, right.
NES style.
I don't think I have seen this. Interesting.
And just as an aside, I still to this day think that the ice hockey game on the NES is one of the greatest competitive games
Yeah,
ever.
that is absolutely amazing to play. It's funny because I said to Esther yesterday before we sat on Earthbound, so do you want to play some NES hockey?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I definitely did. That game is hilarious to play, especially when you're a little bit tipsy and you're just getting angry at each other. Yeah, it's fun. That's a good game. There was something else I was going to say about the SNES. Because my only experience of it was, I think, The Mask.
The Mask.
Yeah, which I played with Dwayne, funny enough. Way back fucking when. I was the only SNES game I ever played.
The gamer in me, knowing what film adaptations of games are like, just assumed it'd be trash. But there was an era, folks, where film adaptations of games were actually very well thought out. I mean, think of like the Disney games on the Super Nintendo.
It wasn't all shit. It was some good. Was
The Mask any good?
It's funny, every time I think back to that game, all I think is, God, that's fucking stupid, you know. It had its quirkiness, of course, and like I suppose I think of games like the Batman game, right? And just like, this game's just fucking stupid, really. But
I have a fond childhood memory of playing Gremlins 2 on the Game Boy when I go visit my nan.
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2.
On the Game Boy. That's the original Game Boy, right?
Yep.
All green and black.
Yeah, green, black. Yeah. If you play in the night in car journeys, you had to chase lampposts.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell, yeah, no backlighting on that shit. You had to buy a fucking attachment that plugged into it.
Which no one ever had.
Although on the original Game Boy you didn't. It had to be battery operated, I suppose.
Took 4 AA's, that bad boy.
I mean, if you haven't seen AVGN's Game Boy Accessories video, I refer you to that to see some of the shit that they made for the Game Y. I mean, even the Game Boy Advance, the original Game Boy Advance, because when the SP came out, it was like, oh shit, it has a built-in backlight.
Oh my god, it's got an SP. It has a backlight and it folds.
It was so cool.
It was cool.
It was like the coolest thing ever. And before that, you had the original Game Boy Advance, and you actually had a USB slot, right? I think so you could actually plug the backlight. It had like a little extender lamp.
Oh, it did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and you could plug it actually into the thing, so it powered it.
And I had one of them. It was trash. But I will say this: I love the SP. I think I own 3 SPs now because I had to buy the. You had it when it was new. I remember the NES version of the Game Boy Advance
Special Edition.
I just think it's beautiful. I do.
Great.
In its like ugly glory, but in such a beautiful way.
I love it.
And I just remember playing a lot of Game Boy and Game Boy Color games on the SP, and do you know what? Obviously, it sticks out the bottom because the game cartridge on the bottom. It never put me off. It doesn't look great, but it never put me off. But I do think, as an aesthetic, the original Game Boy Advance looks better. So, for example, probably about 10 years ago now, I purposely bought a Game Boy Advance shell.
Yeah.
With the knowledge going, I'm buying this shell now because I want to put a computer in this and emulate Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and NES, possibly some others, not Super Nintendo. And this, I'll come to this problem in a moment. But I thought I want it because obviously I can make a backlit screen for this Game Boy Advance. It can have an HDMI connection, so I can plug it into the TV if I want to. And I just think it is a beautiful. The purple one is what I've gone for. I think I actually had a black one as well when I had it, but I've gone for that. And I bought it before the technology was really there to fit a Raspberry Pi. It wasn't small enough.
Yeah.
I was forward thinking, and then I forgot about it. But the problem with them now is that you can do your own builds, but people want to play SNES games, and to play SNES games you need 2 extra buttons, so they end up having to mod 2 extra buttons on it, and I don't want that. I want my original looking Game Boy Advance. If I want to play SNES, I'd probably have to mod, I don't know.
Yeah, you just do something else.
Well, actually, I'll tell you what I would do. I would mod a GameCube shell. Yeah. And then just have it with different a USB adapters in the place of its controllers, and then I would have everything on there, and then have different controllers. What would be your console of choice if you were to create your own retro console?
I think that's a good idea. The GameCube design. It's funny because people complained about it, but it was because it was bulky, but it was small, right? Do you remember when they announced the Switch and how it has a little bit of history and it's a bit? Do you remember what it took from the GameCube? It was the handle, right?
What a load of bullshit! The GameCube had so much, and they took the idea that it had a handle.
They're just like the GameCube revolutionised it further by being able to make it easy to carry with a little handle.
Portable gaming, just your nearest CRT television.
I can see what they were trying to say. They were trying to say that we've been thinking about portable home consoles for a while, and that's what the Switch is a portable home console.
But then
so I kind of see what they were saying.
But they didn't go that way with the Wii.
No.
Or the Wii U. Wii U was probably the least portable console ever.
That's true. It's because they were trying to do portable gaming, but not portable. It was like the mobile controller screen.
They did us all in. We all thought we'd take that happy Wii U controller anywhere we wanted.
Thing is that's the thing with the Wii U. Some fucking fantastic games on that thing that were just completely. Usually you want to say in any other gaming system you'd say, "Oh, it's been drowned out by like a load of other random third-party bullshit." And they get lost sort of in the mess. If anything, the Wii just had this really exclusive first-party library, but no one bought the console because there was no games for it.
The Wii U,
but the games were great.
I mean, the recent release of Bowser's Fury 3D. Super Mario 3D World, which I would argue is actually one of the best 3D Marios.
Well, you think about the amount of the amount of games that they have made to Switch. Right?
Yeah,
the reason Mario Kart 8 is a fucking great game,
and in fact, that has good games because they had the mass exodus of porting those games onto 3DS towards the end of the 3DS's life. There was a lot of that. Mario Maker. That's all I've got, but they did do it. I promise.
Obviously they did Smash.
Of course, but then that's different because they released
that came first, didn't it?
And also, I think they wanted that to be that was a dual idea. I guess.
Yeah, kind of partnered it.
Did you not feel a little bit upset when they released Smash for the Switch pretty quick? If you think of how long it was between Brawl and Smash 4. And then they released Ultimate after Smash 4 very quickly in comparison. Did you not have a little moment of... the 3DS Smash Brothers is all I've ever wanted. Ever. Full stop. All I ever wanted was a portable Smash. I loved 3DS Smash. And then it is immediately usurped by a much better, albeit slightly less portable, but let's be real...
Pretty portable. Yeah.
Ultimately, better version.
Yeah, well, I mean... It's funny because it's just their way of recovering, isn't it? The Wii U didn't sell. They were in dire straits by most accounts. They didn't lose much money. People keep talking about the Wii U as being like this colossal failure and it lost them all this money. It didn't lose them that much money.
Let me give a cash figure of how much the Wii U lost Nintendo.
I swear to God it did not cost... Well, it may have cost them a lot.
Well, all consoles run at a loss, don't they, for any company?
Yeah, but... The loss that they made was nowhere near as bad as the loss they made for the GameCube.
Really?
From what I've read, that the GameCube was a bigger loss for them.
So I'm going to Google that as well. I heard...
But I think the GameCube's in a similar vein, isn't it? There's so many good games on the GameCube.
Yeah, preach.
So many good games. But it did not sell. No one bought a GameCube. But you had those veterans that did.
Yeah.
Or they bought them... a generation later and realised, holy shit, fucking Zelda Wind Waker's a fucking sick game. Fucking revisit that shit hard.
I heard, and that apparently Nintendo has so much money in its accounts, or just so much, they have so much money, so many assets, however it is, that they could actually run at a loss for like a good 100 years before they'd have to go and talk about anything.
Yeah, that sounds very correct.
Yeah.
They've got so much money.
So the Wii U lost $48.6 million.
Yeah, see, that sounds like a lot to you and me, but to Nintendo...
The GameCube, they posted a profit, it says. They don't have a chance of catching up. They cut the price. How much do you think they cut the price to of a GameCube?
I remember, because we got one for £80, right? And it was bundled... In fact, no, I think it was £90 for the GameCube bundled with, I kid you fucking not, 4 controllers and 3 games.
Seriously? And I bet the memory card to boot as well.
And it was... If it was any more than 100, it was £100.
Yeah.
Right? If it was... Like, it was no more...
That's crazy.
...than that.
And
It was great.
Let me give you some stats here. So, looking at it, the GameCube sold, if we're talking units, this isn't money, 10.5 million GameCubes. The Xbox sold 9.4 million, so it outsold Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
The PS2 sold 62.6 million, and I think the PS2 is the highest selling console of all time.
It is.
But the Game Boy Advance sold 42 million units.
And actually, no, PS2 isn't the highest selling one. It's the DS.
It's not.
I think it is, because I looked it up and I was surprised. I think it is the DS, dude. That's the DS, not the 3DS. And because I looked it up and I was surprised.
It's not. It's the best-selling game console is PS2.
And
then they count the DS family, but it's close though, and I bet the DS still is making sales somewhere in the world.
I swear if you type into Google it comes up with DS. Could be wrong.
You are wrong.
Oh, well, there you go. So with me being wrong, we'll move on to the final section of the thing, of the show, the thing we're doing.
This thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about... So we've talked about games consoles. The news story segment kind of deteriorated into just...
What?
Talk about games and
Sort
segments. And
consciousness.
yeah.
Airing it.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, this is just a stream of consciousness bullshit thing anyway.
Yeah.
But it wasn't very news related.
Hey, we said some stuff.
Yeah, we said a few things.
Yeah.
We said a few things. So for the last segment, I thought it was basically on the way over here, actually, on the way home from work. We should do trivia. Because I know how much you like your trivia.
I do.
And wow, just sort of brainstorming ideas to myself was okay. We'll do trivia because we've got limitless information at our fingertips, right?
Oh, we do.
So,
and I have a question in the bank. I think I just want to word it right for you. This is an easy one. I'd say it's retro-ish.
Shh. Okay, he's fine.
Is he okay?
He's fine. Yeah, he's asleep. We're good. Right, let's have some fun.
Okay. Fucking hate that guy.
I know, right? He's just such a prick. Okay, so.
So my question is, what name links the artificially intelligent character in the Halo series and Microsoft's personal productivity assistant?
Oh, that's Cortana.
That's right. That is Cortana.
Cortana, which is one of those things that a lot of people go, "Oh, Jesus, really?" I didn't realise.
Maybe you should leave a pause next time in case a listener wants to have a go answering that question as well.
Yeah, maybe we should do that actually.
Fuck them.
I mean, they could write their answer in the comments. I won't sit until after the fact. But you're stood in the way of the microphone.
This cat, I swear.
This cat. All right. Okay. I'm just going to ask you a question.
All right, I love it. I've got some lined up for you as well. I think they're quite simple. I might have to.
I was thinking we could do. This came to me just now. You only live twice, so you have to answer an X amount of questions, but you only get 2 lives.
Oh, I love it.
Right. So you get 1 wrong answer and then 1 more.
Okay.
And you're out.
I'm into that. In that case, I'm going to find a more difficult trivia.
Well, I've got 10 questions here that are kind of easy-ish.
Oh, mine were very easy, so I am finding another one. Do you want to chuck one at me?
Yeah. I mean, I could give you some... So let me see. Let me just read through this last one here. I mean, to be fair, it's stuff that we've been talking about, but there's some stuff here you wouldn't know.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm ready.
Right, okay, so here's my 10 questions. Oh, fuck, he's away.
Douchebags.
Yeah, alright.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah,
Keep it fucking down.
yeah, we'll keep it down.
Trying to sleep over here.
God, I fucking hate the guy.
Jesus. If he eats my cat, I swear to God,
He's not gonna eat the guy.
you better fucking not.
Actually, wake up, dude. Wake up. Can you introduce the next segment like you said you would do? Please.
Oh, trivia.
Alright, okay.
I hate that dude. Sorry. I'm done. I'm over it.
He kind of, I feel like he underacted a little bit there, but yeah. Thank you, Retronomicon.
Yeah.
Okay, so, first question.
Yes.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, future me insert some tense.
Oh, do you want me? I'll
Music.
bring some music for next time.
A bit of tense question
Yeah.
music.
Da-da-da.
Your first question for $100. What was the first commercially successful video game?
Is it multiple choice, or do I have to say the first commercially successful video game? Pong.
It was Pong.
Fucking knew it. Yes.
Do the little success jingle.
Do a
okay.
little. Yes.
Yeah. Ding 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 ding. Question number 2 for $200. What is the best-selling video game of all time?
The best-selling video game of all
The
time.
best-selling video game.
Is it?
of
That's
all time.
That's really difficult. I'm have to say, is it?
We can do final answer as well. So
Okay.
you can
All
say
right.
something.
My heart is going to Wii Fit. I feel like because it was with the Wii console,
Oh yeah.
and I feel like that's up there.
That's
Am I-
not a bad answer. Actually.
well, the fact that you're saying it like that makes me think that's not the answer.
Oh,
Or are you double bluffing me?
Exactly.
No, fuck you. Wii Fit. Final answer.
Wii Fit final answer is incorrect.
Oh no.
And actually, the answer's kind of obvious if you think about it. It's Minecraft.
All right.
Okay. So that's one life gone. Question number 3. What year was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System released?
You want that straight off the bat? Okay, no, I can do that.
I can give you an ABC for this one if you like.
No. I think I've got it. I think it was early 90s. I know the Game Boy was 88. I'm pretty sure. And that was around the time of NES. I think the Super Nintendo was 1990.
Oh, it's incorrect.
Oh no! Is
In
it
fact,
91?
It is 91.
Fuck.
Maybe we should do 3 lives. Let's just do 3.
Okay, freeze the magic number.
You only live thrice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. So how many have I got right so far?
You've gotten 1 right.
Okay. I'm ready.
Question number 4. You'll get this one.
Okay.
What is the highest selling game console of all time?
Is it the Sony PlayStation 2?
It is the Sony PlayStation 2.
Come on.
So yeah, there you go, easy peasy. This is the one that might get you, because I don't know if you couldn't get the Super Nintendo question. Don't know about this one. What year was Nintendo founded?
Oh, fuck off. Alright, I think I got it. I think it was very late 19th century. I'm going to say 1892.
So close. I might even give it you just
What
for
was
that.
it?
It's 1889.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. No, don't give it me. Come
No.
on. No, stop giving me chances. If anything, that's hurting my self-esteem more.
Have you got questions?
I've got
though?
questions
Okay.
for you. They're all. Some of them are multiple choice, so I'll
Right.
give you some, but some I'll just make you answer.
I
Seeing
mean,
as you,
if I give you more later, I give you more
seeing as you fucked me over with a lack of multiple. Okay, all right, here we go. What is the largest ever prize pool for a gaming tournament? Is it? I've just realised something. It's a quiz that I have to answer, so I actually don't know the answer to that one. I'll find another one.
Okay.
How to play? Oh, here we go. Oh, I've just found the one you've been using. Okay, I'll use this one.
You could carry on with that same
Alright,
list.
okay, I will. I'll move down a bit. How many Grand Theft Auto versions have been released?
Versions,
Yeah.
as in main titles.
I don't think it means that, looking at the answer. I think it means
Spin-offs as well.
I think it means spin-offs, but unless I'm wrong, it looks like it including different consoles, but I might be wrong. There might be as many as I think there are, or as it says there is.
I guess there isn't multiple choices, because you're looking at the same list as me.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Tough little question. Especially for my fucking first question. They did like 5 on the DS or whatever.
I'll give you a margin of error of 3 either side.
Okay, that seems fair.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to go with 10.
The answer, and it is wrong on the website, as in it needs to be updated. The answer is 16. So you're
Is
a
it?
bit under, you're 2 under. So that
Damn.
is a.
I was sort of thinking, okay, the 5 main ones and then like 5 spin-offs.
Okay.
But there's actually been like 10 spin-offs or whatever.
Alright, shall I give you an
Jesus
easy one
Christ.
then?
Yeah.
Who was the first character you defeat in Super Mario?
In the first original Super Mario.
The first character you defeat in Super Mario.
That's the NES version.
Yeah.
The first boss
Yeah.
you defeat in the first Super Mario.
What a badly worded question.
In the original Super Mario on the NES.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Bowser.
It's Bowser. The
Yeah.
answer's Bowser.
You
Yeah.
jump on his head.
I
yeah.
would have given it you Goomba for that, because that's technically a character you defeat first, isn't it? In Super
I
Mario?
suppose. I know what they mean, though.
Yeah.
They mean character as in, like, not just a goon.
Okay,
right?
how about this one then?
A main character.
I'm going to give you that. I think
Yeah.
that's fair. How many characters are there in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
How many characters are there?
Mm-hmm.
That's including the DLC, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Has it been updated to include every single one?
Well, I know the answer now because I've just checked it.
Fuck.
I'll give you a margin of error of 3 either way.
Oh, bitch. That is tough. That is tough. Let's go with... I mean, it's a lot. It's probably more than I think it is. Let's go with 38.
In Ultimates,
Yes.
including DLC.
There's not, is there? There's loads more. I can't even think of an appropriate number.
I'll give you one more go.
68.
89.
89?
There's 89. There's 89.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's 89.
There's me trying to get elite with every character in that game. And
That'll take you...
that's going to take fucking forever, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those things I don't really... And I suppose because I'm thinking about my character screen, but I haven't got half the fucking DLC, so looking at a full fucking screen,
Yeah.
I bet that does look like a lot of characters.
It is,
But I
it is
think
a lot.
back to my screen, and I think, it's not that many.
All right,
I've got
you've
one more life left.
Okay, well, I've got a good... This is an interesting one, and I might help you with this one a bit.
38.
What was the first video game character to have a balloon featured in Macy's Thanksgiving Parade?
A balloon in
I'll ha-
Macy's Thanksgiving
I'll give you a
parade.
year if it'll help you. But I
Yeah.
feel like you probably have an idea of the era. Really.
I mean, it's not my final answer, but of course Mario. They've got big sort of characters. What year are we talking then? Go on.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I've got to Google it. We're talking like that classic era
Mm-hmm.
of around, let's say... shall I just give you a year?
Yeah.
As opposed to guessing, okay.
On a balloon.
1993.
Yeah, so that's prime fucking Super Nintendo era. A balloon, the Macy's Parade. I have to go Mario.
It's not Mario.
It's not.
Any other big characters?
I couldn't even think. Donkey Kong.
No. Let's leave the Nintendo circle.
Right. It's not a Nintendo character.
No,
Sonic.
it's Sonic.
Oh, is it Sonic?
It's Sonic
Oh
the
wow.
Hedgehog.
Okay, well there you go. I suppose I should have known that really, but
I
it
think-
could have been Sonic or Mario really in my mind.
Yeah, that was a hard question. I didn't give you the choices for
I
it.
mean, Sonic is a more sort of westernized
Well,
character.
exactly, he's not
Yeah,
Japanese.
it's true. I mean, he is Japanese. Sega's a Japanese company, isn't it?
Fuck off.
It's mostly American now, or was. I can't remember.
Sega.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it started in America, and they have a branch in Japan.
Are you just,
I
make,
don't know.
are you
No,
just
they
making
do.
stuff up now? Sega is a Japanese
There
multinational
we
video
go.
game.
I'm saying.
You're right. You're right.
It's one of those things you think's American, but it's just that they had a lot more American influence in the market, right?
Yeah.
Back then.
Well, definitely. And
Even
still.
now, really, yeah. Okay, so that's me out then. Fuck. I don't know, how many did I get right?
1 in the end.
And you got
1.
1. Right, so...
What a waste of time that was for us all.
Yeah, wasn't that fun? 3 lives and we're gone. Okay. Let me just give you this last question.
Okay.
Let's see. This one's an interesting talking point, even. What video game company collaborated with Sony on the PlayStation?
I think I know this.
You do know this, because I think we've talked about this before.
I think I do know this. Am I allowed to ask the book?
The book?
Oh no! Sorry, dog. Okay. Oh no, we'll leave the occult out of it for now. Sorry, it's my knowledge. It's not the Retronomicon.
It's fine. The Retronomicon is trying to eat the dog.
I fucking said.
Stop it. Fucking brown piece of shit. Right.
I think I know.
Yeah.
I know that there was a project that was trying to combine Nintendo and Sony.
Yeah, you're right. Nintendo originally intended to be an add-on to the SNES until the deal fell apart and the companies parted ways.
Think of where we might have been.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're nearing the end of the hour for this podcast. I think it went okay.
I think so.
I think we have some interesting conversation. We can work on these segments for next time.
So next time, what have we learned? We'll write things down.
Yeah.
Maybe pre-plan questions if we do that again.
I mean, we kind of wanted to get together and do that, which is what the purpose of today was. But we thought, fuck it, set up the microphone and fucking see what we can do.
Yeah.
Just while we're sat here.
Hey, we can chat shit as good as most other podcast people.
We have a voice.
We have voices.
Voice, yeah. Plural. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Not you.
That guy, man.
Just go back to sleep. No, sleep. Alright. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I think we should probably leave it there before we get too far over an hour. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Retronomicast, episode 0. Yeah, epic. Graphic flies off the screen. Yeah, we're good.
And we'll be coming at you in 3D for the next one.
3D. Yeah, just to sort of give a taste as well before we go to the audience about this is going to be sort of it may be a let's play sometimes. I can see us like playing a game and doing this. The podcast itself is going to have some visual elements. If you're watching on YouTube, it's predominantly YouTube podcast. So if you're on YouTube, you can either listen to this, but there will be visual accompaniment to what we're talking about. Sometimes.
So deaf people will be inevitably allowed to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, in a sense, because there'll be something to look at.
That's right.
Yeah. So there is that. Thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you next time, which was sometime in the future, sometime after now.
Not now.
Not at the moment this ends, because that's impossible.
But technically now, to the listener, is the future.
That's right. So, I mean, this is what now is the past.
But we're in the oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
Yeah. And no, not you. Okay, so yeah, right. I think we're going to go then. I think we're done.
Okay.
I think that's the podcast.
Should we go home?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can work on these segments for next time, and yeah, comment down below if you have any ideas, things we want to talk about, and all that good shit.
Thank you.
And thank you, Sam, for being on the show.
Yeah.
And I would thank the Retronomicon, but
I hate that guy.
he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve thanks.
I hate him. Right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Oh, P, that fucking stinks, mate. You had to do it, didn't you?
I didn't fart. He's just trying to fucking like.
I just really want to be in the
post credits.
I'm post crediting. You're right. I'm sorry. That was shameless. That was shameless.